Yeah, please.
Because these people have worked a lot on this. Probably Amitabh, we can start. Then Jagannath Chatterjee, you can always take up.
Thank you, Dr. Saxena. It's really, it's a very humbling experience to see the people who have really suffered. And I mean, as a medical profession, I think we are going through the darkest age. I mean, as a medical profession has failed, I am seeing all around. They are just closing their eyes and absolving themselves of all responsibility. My own, I mean, senior doctors also are blindly following the government orders, and they are not ready to accept, as those who have suffered has brought out. The reporting of these adverse events are very poor in our country. Actually, firstly, they are denied, and most of them are passed off as coincidental deaths. Recently, also, I saw a report in, I think, Mumbai. A 15-year-old girl died just within 2 days of vaccine, and they have labeled that she has died of heart attack. And in fact, they have alleged, I think it is Dr. Kothari who raised the... Dr. Kothari was, I think, they have alleged him of spreading rumors. I mean, a person...
Yeah, threatened with an FIR.
FIR. I mean, it is just adding insult to injury. I don't know how I mean, inhuman people can be. I mean, I think the basic, I think 15-year-old girl, 18-year-old girl, 30-year-old girl, they have no risk of dying from COVID. They say, I mean, they said lakhs have been given vaccine, they have not seen any adverse event. That's not the way to answer, because crores and millions have suffered from young people have already got the infection. There hardly any death. So that by no stretch of imagination, the risk outweighs the benefits, or benefit outweighs the risk. This is the thing they keep parroting, right from the CDC, right to the ICMR. This is just like parrot talking, the benefit outweighs the risk, and they cannot, just by any stretch of data, they can support this statement. The younger you go down the age, the younger the person, the risks are definitely much more than the benefit. And as also brought out by, I think, Mr. Venugopal, and he mentioned like he's also suffering from some autoimmune type of reaction. And this, there are even experts who have said that these long-term things may take so much time that people may not establish a cause-effect relationship, because there will be so many other side effects and everything. When a young person is dying within a very short time of taking the vaccine, and they are having so much difficulty in accepting it is cause-effect, one can imagine if you have a reaction 2 years, 3 years down the line, how difficult it would be to establish attributability. I mean, one can really imagine this. I mean, this when in the short-term attitude of the profession, or whoever, the administration, or who is supposed to monitor the adverse effects, is like that. 3 years, 5 years down the line, who is responsible, and that too they are giving mass vaccination when the vaccine is having so many side effects, or when we don't know. Let us say there are no side effects, but we cannot know. So there has to be a control group. They are breaking all the ethical principles of a proper trial also, without a control group. And what is the emergency use authorization? Where is the emergency now? Where is the emergency in the younger age group? Even earlier, there was no emergency in the youth. There was only emergency, those who are, deaths were more in the elderly people who are having comorbidities. So that vaccine could have been limited to that group. There was no justification for mass rollout. As a medical professional, I can say it with conviction. And that time, if an elderly person with comorbidity, there are some adverse effects, it may be unfortunate. But a young person who had no risk dies, unfortunately, the extreme, or get disabled. There are reports of myocarditis from the Western countries where they have higher incidence of myocarditis, where they have a good baseline data. In our country, we do not have a baseline data. So we will never know. It will always be labeled as coincidental. And regarding, as he said, multiple clots or multiple, there have been eminent virologists like Suchadit Bhagdi. Even before the vaccine was rolled out, he had predicted that this type of thing, the spike proteins, may cause endothelial damage in different organs and clots and other things. So as a virologist, he has been predicted, and he is blocked from YouTube and all social media. So this is the way they are suppressing science. And similarly, Dr. Robert Malone, who was part of the mRNA technology, he was all his life he spent in vaccine research. When he started saying that these are the potential, the spike proteins can go to different organs, and yeah, he also has been blocked from all the social media. So we are, as far as professionals, as medical professionals, we are passing through the darkest era. We are regressing back to the dark ages. And as rightly brought out, these cases should be documented. I can see most of the mainstream journals are compromised. There are conflicts of interest, but there is a ray of hope. Particularly the high-end journals, the British Medical Journal. The British Medical Journal has recently brought out a feature, and particularly it has mentioned about, particularly it has mentioned India also, that it had mentioned that cases are not properly investigated, vaccine-related adverse events, and I think we can try this case as case studies or case series. We can try the British Medical Journal, and they have got good editors now. I think Abbasi has taken over editor. He has been writing some very bold editorials. So we can have a go at British Medical Journal. Of course, it may take time, but nowadays British Medical Journal and other journals has got a preprint server. So at least we can make a write-up, and at least we can try to put it in the preprint. Once it is in the preprint, it can get visibility. So we can try that. I think Dr. Saji suggested that publication, we can try that. Thank you.